What's up YouTube, welcome back to my channel. As you guys know, I'm currently on a bulking phase, trying to put on some muscle mass, and I guess for that reason I've been asked a lot on my Instagram, getting a lot of DMs on how to set up your diet, if I go to a nutritionist, if there's someone helping me out there, if there is a personal trainer whatsoever. And I thought about creating this video to help you out, just to give you the basics of macros, and perhaps you can set up your own diet for yourself. So in today's video I'm going to show you how do I set up my macros, and perhaps you can do that for yourself as well. But before anything else, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell as well so you receive my videos every week, and also give thumbs up to support my channel. Guys, this is really valid content. This could change your whole entire physique. I know there's a lot of controversial about exercise during a workout, but if you set up your diet, your chances of getting the physique you want for your life is much higher than trying just to perfect some sort of workout or exercise. If you get your diet on point, this is gonna definitely be decisive when it comes down to your goal physique. Well, and besides that, also, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but your diet plays a key role when it comes down to your results. I would say, in my personal experience, it would add up to 75% of my results. If my diet's not on point, there's no way I can outwork that on the gym. I could stay that forever, working out for 3-4 hours, doing 5-6 sessions of cardio during the week. If my diet's not on point, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna get me where I wanna be. That being said, let's go over the macros I'll walk you through. Today I'm showing you how to set up for a gain muscle mass, not for a cutting position, alright? But so to kick off, you gotta know what's your maintenance levels when it comes down to calories. You gotta check that. This is really varies according to each individual. How many sessions of workout you have in a week, how active you are on a day. Obviously, someone who's 75 kilos, that is very active during the day, in comparison to someone who's weighed the same, you wouldn't have the same maintenance levels, because one person is much more active and the other one is seated on a chair working in the office. So you guys have to work on that. Well, but how can I know that? Well, you could go online, just check on a regular calculator generator. I think there are a lot available. You can check the link in the description below of one of the ones that I use, just to give you some idea of what are your maintenance levels. But again, this could vary according to each individual. It's just a start, it's just a kickoff, right guys? Because you have to come from somewhere, like if you have no idea about your maintenance levels. Well, that being said, now you already know your maintenance levels. You already understand how much you need on a day to keep your body the way it is. In a bulking phase, I would say that we need 200-300 calories more. There's a lot of misconception now that you should eat a huge amount of food every day. This is not gonna help. This is actually gonna make you put on a lot of fat, and after, to get rid of that, it's gonna cost you a lot, and you don't want that. You wanna do just a very clean bulking. You wanna keep eating healthy. You don't wanna get a lot of sugar, processed food into your body. You wanna eat more, slightly more of your maintenance levels, but also you wanna remain in a very high quality. Now, the very first thing that I like to guide me through, and is the first one that is gonna lead all the rest of the macros, is your protein intake. So as opposed to a lot of people believe, you don't have to eat that much protein while bulking. Actually, you have to secure your gains while cutting, but when you're bulking, you don't have to eat as much protein as you would do in a cutting phase. Let's take an example of a person who weighed 75 kilos, alright? Or in pounds is 165. Now, your protein should be the first macro to be set, because it's the one that is gonna guide you through the whole 2 different phases, cutting and also bulking. When you're bulking, you have to eat around 0.8 grams of protein, up to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So in that case, if you weigh 165 pounds, you should eat 165 grams of protein, roughly around that. Now, this is very individual. Some people might go a little bit higher and feels better. Some others might go a bit lower than that, like in my situation. But something that is really important, something that you can notice if you're overeating or if you're eating too little, is how many times you're going to the bathroom on a day. In my personal situation, when I'm having a lot of protein, I'm going more than twice on a day to the bathroom, and this means I'm not actually absorbing. I'm just eating a lot of food and I'm actually spilling out of my body. There is no need of me keep eating so much protein. I should actually just reduce that amount and perhaps eat more of carbs or fat. You guys have to be very aware of your body. Guys, when you start dieting and when you're like in this kind of fitness lifestyle, this one that is more healthier, make sure you notice things in your body, like I said in some other videos, about your skin as well, like things that you eat and they reflect on your skin, on how you feel, if your energy level is going up or going down. So you gotta tell, like for example, if you have a lot of coffee and you notice that you're very sensitive to caffeine, like reduce that, because you don't want to be super alert all the time, even more before bed. So make sure like you notice those things in your body, okay? So if you weigh 165 pounds in kilos, that would be 75 kilos, and you should eat 1.8 grams of protein up to 2.3 grams of protein per kilo as well. The result will be the same, some sort of like 165 grams of protein. First, to start your diet, the first week, pay close attention to you, see if it's working, to the scale as well, weight yourself, for how many weeks you're gonna be doing your bulking, how many months as well. Like you need the scale as well to weigh yourself to see if you're putting on some muscle mass. Something that you should know about macros as well, each macro has some sort of equivalent intake of calories. So protein, 1 gram of protein represents 4 calories. Right, so we already set our protein. We've got 165 grams of protein, which is exactly the same as 660 calories. The second macro I like to set is fat. In my personal situation, I don't get along that well and I tend to increase my fat intake. I notice my energy levels drop. I feel very dizzy trying to digest, even when it's healthy fat. But for some other individuals, they work much better with a higher fat intake instead of carbs. So in that situation, you could play along with. You gotta test out, guys. The whole situation about dieting is playing around with your macros to test whatever works better for you. And this is what people don't understand. There is no recipe like fixed. Like this is very individual according to each person. So in my situation, and for some other people that I know, and for some clients as well, not mine, we normally set 0.4 pound of body weight. So in our example, we've got someone who weighs 165 pounds. You multiply that per 0.4. and you've got 66 grams. That's more than plenty. For some other people, this seems to be very low. I don't go over it because I notice when I start having a lot of fat, even if it's healthy like peanut butter, avocado, and so on, my skin gets too thick. Well, this is something that compromises my work. I'm modeling, shooting. I'm also creating content on social media, so I cannot be like without that lean look. I try to keep my fat intake at a minimum level that doesn't compromise my hormone levels and all the things that are working in my body. Now, if you want to do the math in kilos, I normally do 0.8 up to 0.9 grams of fat per kilo of body weight. And that would mean like 66 grams of body fat as well, like we did it with pounds. Something you should know, when it comes down to calories, 1 gram of fat represents 9 grams of calories. It's actually twice of protein and carbs. So you gotta watch out for that. And this is a very common mistake, guys. People are setting up their macros like fat is just a really small amount. For example, a tablespoon of peanut butter, even though it seems harmless, but there is a massive difference between the amount. Like sometimes we can see with our own eyes, but if you weigh on a kitchen scale, you see that 15 grams of peanut butter and 30 grams are so different when it comes down to calories intake. So 66 grams of fat would represent 594 calories. Let's round up to 600 calories. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna go over the carbs. Now, in my personal situation, what I would do, I would get whatever was left from the calories intake and I would change that into carbs. Well, and so far, when we did the math with fat and protein, we've got 1200 calories. We've got an individual who weighed 75 kilos or 165 pounds, and the maintenance level is 2500 calories. Typically, in a bulking phase, you would go over like 300 calories, so you don't gotta go like 3000 at once. You could just increase your calories intake each week according to the gains you're making. So that scenario being set, we need 2,800 calories. Now, if you do the math, bulking calories intake, not our maintenance levels, and we're gonna do minus 1,200 calories. Well, the result is 1,600 calories. So this should be your intake of carbs. Now, each carb represents 4 calories. So what we're doing now is getting the 1,600 calories and dividing by 4. And then we've got 400 grams of carbs. If you take a look at this, we've got 2,800 calories perfectly set for a bulking phase. And I want you guys to give more importance to your macros. Now, obviously, when you first start your diet, this calories intake should be increasing every 15 days, every week or so, because you're putting on some weight. So the calories that was supposed to give you some sort of bulk feeling in the first week won't be the same at your ending phase of your bulk. Again, guys, it's not something really complex, but it's not easy. You have to watch out and manage your calories intake every 15 days. And for that work perfectly well, you need a scale. You have to weigh yourself. If you're gaining like 2 kilos in a week, perhaps you're just eating way too much. Cut down a bit because you're putting on too much fat. Ideally and typically, I would go for half a kilo or perhaps 250 grams per week on your body weight. We're bulking, but don't forget yourself that we're doing a lean bulk. It's not something that you're just gonna put on a lot of fat on your body, alright? Alright, we already went through the rough path. Now I'm gonna give you some tips to better encourage you to do this diet properly. First thing, you gotta be consistent. It's not about doing 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I normally book for 3 or 4 months in a row, and I tend to do it during winter time where I don't have to walk around shirtless or something, or I'm not going to the beach whatsoever. It's just very cold, so I'm putting on a lot of layers myself. But again, I can't aggressively bulk because otherwise I wouldn't be that lean. And since I work with social media, I try to just go step by step, but I keep consistent. That's how I get my results. Second of all, and this is a huge mistake as well, it's not because you're bulking that you can eat everything. Like, there is no sense if you set your macros and you keep shoveling really processed food, sugar, refined wheat as well to your body. So you gotta make sure you're eating clean, healthy, and dense food as well. Like something that is really natural, high value nutrient as well. Now, third thing that is quite important, get yourself a scale and a kitchen scale as well. You're gonna need them, first of all, to weigh your meals and to weigh yourself. Make sure you weigh yourself every day at the same time. I normally do that faster right after I wake up. One day of the week to use as a reference for yourself, because your weight could vary according to, hydration, dehydration. Some days if you're eating something, if you had like a cheat meal last night, probably today, you're gonna have a lot of water in your body and retained water. So you just make sure you're weighing yourself every week, and then there's some sort of slightly variation between the days, but after 1 week, 2 weeks, your weight has increased somehow. And the last secret that I definitely recommend, don't be afraid to test yourself and to see how your body reacts to things. Like, someone could go much better with high fat intake than I actually propose here. Some others going much better with high protein intake or perhaps higher carb intake as well. You gotta watch your body. Like, people that have been dieting and have a great body, great physique, aesthetically speaking, they tested a lot and they already know what their body do whenever they set up their macros. Like, they know how their body will react. Before that, they had tested a lot. They tried out different things like I did it. So nowadays I know how my body will react. If you're a newbie, just be patient, because that's really normal. Like, I know someone who's got a lot of fat and it works perfectly, but that same amount, if I were to try it, it would be just a nightmare for me, because I would feel super sleepy, dizzy during the day, feel like doing nothing. You gotta test out for yourself. But I truly believe that with the basics I showed you in this video, you can get by easily. You just gotta be patient. Alright guys, I'm very grateful for having you here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do it. So hit the bell as well to receive my videos every week, and also give thumbs up to support my channel. Make sure you also follow me on my other social platforms. If you try to set up your diet, or if you have any questions as well on how to do it, so just comment down below. I'll be super happy to help you, or you could DM me on my Instagram, my TikTok. And thank you for watching everything. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.